Hello everyone and welcome back to my playthrough of Paradise Killer. Last time we spent most of the episode just going around picking everything up, and I'm pretty sure I did, with the exception of the gun that's in the judge's chambers, presumably to execute whoever we feel is guilty. There's also hidden items that don't show up when we meditate, as was observed by this knife I found hidden away behind the council area, like the main council building. It was literally just stuck in like the middle of the sand. And I wouldn't have noticed it if I hadn't fallen down trying to get something. And again, it wouldn't show up when I meditated. So there's some hidden items, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get all those. I don't know where they are without looking it up, and I don't want to do that. But we also managed to stumble into a hidden area near One Last Kiss, like where she is, and found a new person. Forget his name. I don't know how to pronounce his name, but turns out is the son of Carmelina. And he was able to access like backdoor areas to the council chambers, like where they were having their meeting, and he admitted that he was the one that killed them. So a lot is happening. That's pretty much where we left off. We still have a bunch of people that we need to max out the hangout and see if like they divulge some other certain secrets. So we've done Yuri, Akiko, Henry, Carmelina, and Sam. So who's left? Lydia, Witness, Crimson Acid, Dr. Doom Jazz, and One Last Kiss. So we still got 5 people to complete the hangout with. Looks like we still have some people to talk to as well. Let's go to Carmelina first since she's close. Okay, let's see what she has to say. Carmelina, what if I said there were secret trans-dimensional corridors crisscrossing the island? I'd say that you spent too long in the scorching sun. So you don't know anything about them? I have no idea what you're talking about. To be clear, you are denying crafting secret corridors and hiding a killer within them. Of course I am. That's totally unbelievable. I think you need a rest, investigator. Crime doesn't rest, so nor do I. Let's see you explain this away in the trials. Explain what? A total fantasy? We'll see. Alright, Carmelina. You certainly do have a lot to fucking answer for. A conspiracy crafted from the fabric of the island. Did Carmelina's hidden killer commit the crime to end all crimes? That was weird. I've never had her just speak in the middle of just walking around. Okay, anyways. Let's go to Dr. Doom Jazz next. Alright, let's hang out, buddy. Got a sec, Doc? Can you feel it in the air? You've been spraying pheromones again. The island is about to end. This may be the last time we talk before you and Judge determine who's guilty. Sad to see the island die? I'm more worried about Perfect 25. A new island allowed us to have a new start. Make some changes. It's healthy to have a change of scenery. Frees the mind. If 25 is perfect, there's no more new starts. Not worrying about demonic invasions will take a load off the mind, though. What if the island is built on bad foundations? Don't worry your pretty little head, Doc. I'm here to breathe life back into paradise. I managed not proposition you this time as well. I'll flirt with him. I came to proposition you. Lady love, stop talking. Oh. been wonderful to see you again. Don't. You were never any good at the conversation afterwards. Take this, but save it until you're off duty. Flamboyant wine. Maybe I'll see you on the next island. I hope so. Alright, alright. Dead Nebula's freedom letter. Rich and full-bodied. Good mouthfeel. Lingers on the tongue. Okay, looks like we're done with Doom. Dr. Doom Jazz. What a way to end it, too. Okay. What do you know about a photo taken of Grace's throat during your examination? I took photos, but they were confiscated by Akiko. Classified or whatever. I found one on the Marshall server. Can I get your opinion on it? The bruising on the throat looks old. Or looks odd, rather. Looking closely, you see the bruising around her throat. The marks aren't uniform. There's an area of more pressure. That's because the fingers that did it aren't uniform. In normal strangulation bruising, you can see areas of pressure from the fingertips and the knuckles. The pressure on these is misaligned. This is normally because the attacker is wearing jewelry. Specifically, in this case, a ring on their wedding ring finger. What about power armor? No, the gauntlets on the Marshal's power armor are gloves with armor plates on the top of the hands. Who wears a wedding ring? Or wore a wedding ring? This was 10 years ago. Who was married 10 years ago? It was Carmelita. Oh, whoops. Okay, so we're done with the good doctor. Okay, we still need to hang out with Witness. Want to chat, Witness? I must warn you that I'm not one for long conversations. Well, what else do you remember of the Great Betrayal? I understood what salvation is. I was married to another inhabitant of the palace. A wonderful woman, but she chose heresy over the gods. I do not blame her. It was a troubling time. The whole world changed. Temptation of a new life drove us apart. I refused to abandon our heavenly masters. She chased me throughout the chaos palace, determined to take my life. Ezekiel saved me. He found a way out as the palace was attacked and we were free. We had no idea what daylight or time was, but we knew we had to find the remaining believers. We wandered the desert for many days until we met a small caravan of worshippers. We went with them and found the start of the syndicate. We became obsessed with growing the syndicate. And now you work only for the gods? The syndicate's work is holy work. Without the syndicate, the gods will never rise again. There is a balance, however. Ezekiel saved me, and now I must save the syndicate. Save? How are you going to save it? Too many of us have forgot to adhere to the ways Silent Goat taught us. When was the last time you did a full prayer routine? I will evangelize these values on the new island and bring us back into the light. In order for that to happen, you need to do your job, Lady Loved Eyes. Let us not do social calls until the next island. Understood. Maybe I'll see you on the next island. Maybe. The truth I find out about my murder may involve you, Witness. A devoted servant like myself has nothing to fear. And Witness is done. We have nothing to talk to him right yet. Alright. Hang out. Got time to chat? I have all the time in the world. Till the island ends. How do you deal with the corrupt ruling class? No society has ever worked that out. The real world would be a different place if they had. The ruling class are more insidious than the gods. They corrupt all that they touch, mutating society to be something that only benefits them. For every ruler that meets the guillotine, another takes their place. Society bursts them with no respite. What would you do? Change hearts to change minds. I hope you're right. I hope you can do it. The cycle will repeat until you do. I've enjoyed our conversations, but you have a job to do. Paradise needs saving. I will assist you where I can. Oh, Investigator, I have something for you. I don't need it anymore. Why do I need it? Never forget that the clock is ticking. Okay, and that's one last kiss. We're knocking through all these out of the park. Vintage watch. One last kiss is watch. She doesn't need it anymore. Okay. And she is done. Let's go to Lydia. Let's go for a drive. What's good to eat on this island? The Deep Factory nailed the meat this time. The synthetic meat, that is. Notice how there's now livestock on the island? The Deep Factory got expanded. All the meat is made from a culture, or bugs. They're huge caverns full of bug breeding and meat growing operations. Does it taste good? Yeah, real good. Yuri always claims it doesn't taste like the real thing, but he's just that type. He's the pickup I dread each time. The amount of bullshit that comes out of his mouth is out of control. Thinks he's a wine connoisseur. Dude, you live on a synthetic island where the grapes are grown underground in a lab. This isn't high-end stuff. He tried to tell Sammy all about whiskey one time. Sammy renounced violence, but I thought Yuri was about to get an ice pick in his eye. Sorry, LD. Didn't mean to go off. It drives me crazy. You vent all you want. He's new to me. I'll trust you on this. Appreciate it. I'll drop you at the beach again. Perfect. Alright. So, I found your knife outside the penthouse. What knife? It's a combat knife that's engraved with a message from Sam. You found my knife? I've been looking for that for ages. It disappeared a while ago. Disappeared? Yeah, I couldn't find it one day. Like it just up and vanished. Uh-huh. Do many things vanish around here? Or is it just your knife that mysteriously vanished and then appeared outside a crime scene? Come on, LD. You never lost something before. Do you know why the blade is damaged? Not much need for a combat blade on this island, so it just became a tool. Pop the cap off a beer bottle, tighten the axle nut on your car, you know. Can I have it back? And sentimental. Afraid not, Lydia. This is evidence. Do you know anything about the opened grate on the council building? Grate? A maintenance hatch. It's been cut open and something dragged through it. Not sure why you think I know anything about that. I think your knife was used to open the grate. You're wrong, LD. You're going to need some proof as well. Oh well. Okay, so let's go to Crimson Acid. Actually, shouldn't be too far. Yeah, she's not too far. Got time for our chat? You still read much, lady? Not a lot to read in the idle lens. Let me give you this. One of the citizens we brought to the island was carrying a few volumes of it. It's my new favorite. Enrapturing manga. Negoshi's helicopter. A humble designer dreams about flying a helicopter through the city. Okay, it looks good. Does he achieve his goal? You need to read it to find out. What did you miss most in Exile? The old gang. We live in the shadow of genocidal gods. Praise be, of course. But you guys made it better. It was a different time back then. The islands were a mess, but it was us against the world. The Syndicate got too comfortable, too predictable. That's why last night happened. A lot of good times on the old islands. Immortality was a fun thing to experiment with. Endless possibility. People started settling down, though. Didn't end because you got exiled. Is this about me getting married? Partly. All the Syndicate got boring in one way or another. Montserrat started cracking the whip about building better islands. Kiko got a stick up her ass. Dr. Doomjazz only knows so many tricks. I'm glad you got married and found happiness, but you left me behind. I didn't realize. I thought we were just fooling around. We were. I enjoyed it, but I wanted it to last longer. It's been an aeon, but we can pick up where we left off. Only once before this island ends. Don't be a tease, lady. I'm not teasing. Just a one-time thing, right? I'm solving the mass murder of the council before after being in exile. I'm not in a place to make long-term life decisions. Works for me. Alright, another romp in the sack. I miss you, Crimson. I miss you too, lady. Remember, this was a one-time thing. We keep it business now. We'll see what happens on the next island. And that's Crimson. Enrapturing manga. Crimson's favorite manga. Negoshi's helicopter. It's a story of a mild-mannered designer that dreamed of flying a helicopter through the city. Okay, I think that's everything. Okay, so all that's left now is Lydia again. Alright, think you'd ever go back to the old life? Think you could ever... I can't talk today. You mean being an assassin? You asking because of the case? Casual. This is all off the record. Just chatting. I told you that part of my life is over. Got no taste for it. Do you miss it? I miss the abstract. Ignoring the actual murder part, having a skill to get good at was good. Gave me a purpose. These hands aren't for killing now. You got a long time to think on these islands. It's not worth it. What isn't worth it? Ending lives. What's the point? A life is too important to end early. My line of work was just facilitating another person's ambition. You should be working for yourself, not someone else. What about working for the Syndicate? That's different. We're part of something here. A higher calling. We worship our gods and work for their glory. Not the same as a few coins for a slit throat. What about you? Happy to be working again? I'm the investigation freak. The old nickname. Something to live up to. I'll drop you back at the beach again. This time I brought you something. Contemplative painting. Is this one of your paintings? Yeah, from one of the beaches. This is amazing. Thanks, Lydia. Something to remember your return to paradise by. If I get an apartment on the next island, this will get a pride of place. Appreciate it, LD. Listen, I've enjoyed our drives, but you need to get this thing solved, so there's a next island. Get at me if you got a question about the case, yeah? Will do. Thanks again, Lydia. And that's Lydia. That's everyone. Captures the beauty of the island's coast. Okay, so I think we need to make one last trip. Oh, and Sam as well. Alright. Want to tell me what a lump of flesh cut from a god is doing in a security safe in your storeroom? What flesh? Sammy. I don't know what you're talking about, LD. Someone trying to frame me? Did someone plant it there? Did you plant it there? Don't make this harder than it needs to be. I promise you, LD, I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe there's something we should talk about. Something troubling. Okay. I'm sorry, I wasn't truthful. I was holding that flesh for someone. That isn't original, Sammy. Why do you have god flesh? I was asked to store it for someone. It was Witness. Why did Witness ask you to store that flesh? He came to me and he said he needed it to be stored. He didn't tell me anything else. Okay, so Sam told me the god flesh he had in his safe was being stored for Witness, who said it was for the good of the Syndicate. Sam claims to not know what it was when he was given it. And you just accepted it without question? I didn't know what it was, did I? You just gave me a box and said it needs to be kept a secret. For the good of the Syndicate, wasn't it? Didn't it strike you as suspicious? Witness is an old friend. You'd do anything for old friends, wouldn't you? This is suspicious as hell, Sammy. It's the truth, isn't it? I have no idea. Oh, lordy. Everyone's pointing fingers at each other. Alright, so let's go talk to Akiko. And then we'll go talk to Witness. And then that should be it. Why did you confiscate the photo of Grace Bloodline's neck from Doomed Jazz after the examination? She was murdered by someone possessed by a demon. Anything related to demonic possession is classified. Is that standard procedure, or just for evidence that doesn't tie into the official story? Standard procedure. You think you're really smart and clever with your snide insinuations, but you're not. You're wrong. That was it? Alright. Why did you give Sam a piece of the godflesh to hide? What did he tell you? You first. I needed somewhere to store the flesh. I'm worried that there are people in the syndicate that would sabotage my research. Who? I have nothing concrete. And the why? That awful nickname, Perfect 25. Desire for perfection now. They don't want someone proving the council was wrong. So you didn't use it with Sam to breach the fourth holy seal? This is the first I've heard of it being used with the fourth seal. We'll see about that. Alright. Architect, when did your marriage with Witness end? Why are you asking? Working on something. I assume you'll cooperate? About 9 years ago. And you wore a wedding ring? Of course. What is this about? Thank you for your help. Okay. And I think our investigation is officially concluded. Time to take this to trial. Alright. Let's get this trial started. Can I pick it up? Can I pick this up? Yeah, when the time comes, execute justice. Yeah. Alright, Judge. The investigator. Are you our savior as well? Is paradise worth saving? Are you ready to start the trial that will determine the fate of the syndicate? Have you found facts and crafted a truth? To an extent. I'm ready to work through this with you, Lady Loved Eyes. We shall examine your case files and cast a light upon the shadowy recesses where truth lies. Are you ready to begin the trials, Lady Loved Eyes? This is the point of no return. Ensure that you are happy with your evidence and reasoning. There is no going back. Start the trials. Let's expose the truths. Are you sure, Lady Loved Eyes? This is the point of no return, where we descend into the madness of crime. The penalty for anyone you convict of any crime will be death, as dictated by syndicate law. Please be sure. Start the trials and cross the point of no return into the abyss of crime. It's time to breathe life back into paradise. I'm overjoyed to hear that. Please wait while I assemble the suspects in the chamber of justice. Paradise hangs in the balance. The trial begins. Let me explain how we shall uncover truths and lies. We will hold a trial for each case file logged in Starlight. You will choose which suspect you wish to accuse and present your argument against them. I am an impartial tool of justice. I shall analyze your evidence and determine if you have proven your case. Can you break alibis? Can you put the suspect at the scene? How strong is your case? All that matters is that justice is carried out. I'm not interested in speculation and weak prosecutions. I need the truth. We will find the suspect responsible for each crime. The door to truth will open. Anyone found guilty will be executed. This is the crime to end all crimes. Anyone involved cannot be allowed to infect Perfect 25 with their criminality. We will do the execution. The investigation freak will execute justice. Be confident about who you accuse. Are you clear on how the trials will work? Do you need me to repeat this? Nope, I'm confident. Let's breathe life back into paradise. I'm ready to go. Jesus Christ, man. Judge? The island is ending. Our home shatters before us. This farce has gone on for long enough. It's time to move to the new island, Judge. I am the acting leader. I initiated the shutdown. The prime suspect has been sitting behind bars while the freak runs around the island chasing down false leads. You have until the end of the island to do your trial. Truth may not be as simple as you believe, Architect. I'm doing this for the good of the Syndicate. Perfect 25 is waiting. You can't do that. Judge, the clock is ticking. What does this mean for the trials? We don't have much time, Loved Eyes. The white smoke of oblivion threatens to consume the truth. You will have one desperate chance to find the truth for each case file. Make it count. The rest of the syndicate are in agreement. It is time to move on and execute Henry. Fuck you. You're overstepping your authority, Architect. Judge, let's breathe life back into paradise. Oh my god, stop saying that. Loved Eyes, you are authorized to once again wield your service weapon. Take hold of a chamber full of justice. Use it at the end of the trial to execute the guilty. Any involvement with this heinous crime carries a sentence of death. Judge, this is severe. This is the crime to end all crimes. Any amount of involvement is a heresy against the gods and an atrocity against the syndicate. Or do you disagree? I do not. Be strong in your accusations, investigator. The penalty for any of these crimes is death. It's been a while since I executed justice. The journey into truth and justice begins. Okay, so I grab my service pistol. Investigator's gun. Loved Eye's gun for executing the guilty. You have retrieved your gun. I hope you appreciate how serious your accusations will be. Return to the stand when you're ready to talk. Can I go up to these guys? Henry? This is a formality, right? I'm letting up to get my head blown off, aren't I? That's what we're here to find out. Guess I could talk to them one by one. Crimson, hope you know what you're doing, lady. You better have the evidence you need for whatever you're planning. Doctor, Loved Eyes. If you prosecute me, will I get a conjugal visits? Sorry, Doc. Punishment for this crime is going to make that difficult. Lydia, Sam. Hey, LD. We're cool, right? We're in the clear, aren't we? We'll find out at trial, guys. Witness, Lady Loved Eyes. This is it, isn't it? The reckoning. The future of paradise. I hope you make the right choices. So do I. Yuri, freak, get this over with. We all know who did it. You're wasting my time. Grand Marshal, Nanorochito, you better get this right. Henry did it. Needs to be executed. Wrap this up. Architect. Investigator. This island is ready to die and a new one started. Do not delay in prosecuting Henry. All the evidence points to him. Wow. Look at this. This is... I'll make a nice picture for a thumbnail. Alright. Let's get this started. Investigator, we will begin the trials. Truth or fact? Alright. Henry's escape. Henry allegedly escaped during his execution, broke through the prison bars and headed to the council building, murdering the martial guards, traversing the holy seals, and killing the council before being apprehended at the scene. How did Henry escape? How did the accused killer break out of incarceration? Is it as the report states, or did something else happen? Henry Division is alleged to have escaped the desolation cell and murdered the council. Investigator, peel back the shroud of inscrutability and bring forward the sweet smile of truth. State your truth. So I hadn't really thought this through, to be honest, because I didn't know what the questions would be, right? I mean, I guess this one was kind of an obvious one. So I think Akiko's the guilty one. Carmelina, no evidence. Yeah. Yeah, all the evidence basically points to her. Are you sure you want to continue with this accusation and present your evidence to the judge? Once you confirm, you'll not be able to reverse the court proceedings. Yeah, I do. Suspect confirmed. I believe this was part of a plan by Akiko. Nenorosito. The freak is lying. I'm not even gonna... The Grand Marshal broke the primary suspect out of the prison she put him in. Present your evidence. Construct a truth. I mean, do I present all these? Okay. Akiko broke procedure when she went to execute Henry. She shouldn't have gone by herself. She was either doing something illicit or giving him an opportunity. Ha! Is that the best you've got? Thought you were supposed to be the investigation freak. Speculating with nothing to back it up seems like a poor showing for Judge's big hope. She's right, that is speculation and not evidence. Present your evidence. Construct a truth. The bars on the prison bridge were supposedly torn up by Henry with his demonic strength. Starlight analyzed the bars and found traces of thermite, not demonic residue. Thermite is a military-grade explosive that burns through pretty much anything. Akiko faked that part of his escape. Grand Marshal? Never trust computers. Her little calculator got it wrong. Henry's demonic. What does Starlight know about demons? That freak tried to analyze something that Starlight doesn't recognize, and the closest match is thermite. Residue sample, 68.7% thermite, 29% barium nitrate, 2% sulfur, 0.3%... whatever. No traces of unknown chemicals found. Thermite is an anti-material weapon and burns at an extremely high temperature. Akiko used it to open the prison bars and make it look like Henry escaped. This is a lie. A good truth. Please let us sample some more. Present your evidence. The time frame in Akiko's report doesn't match up. There is no way Henry could have gotten off the desolation cell, made it to the council building, traversed the holy seals, and murdered the councils, and be found at 003. Akiko lied. Whatever. Grand Marshal, respect the civility of the courthouse. Do you have a proper response? She's making that up. The freak is making me out to be a liar. She's cooked up a little story to frame me. How did Henry cross the island, get through all the seals, murder the council, and exit the building by 003? He's got a demon in him. The demon gave him speed and strength. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups. There's no evidence to suggest that. That's correct, Grand Marshal. Your word here isn't good enough. You are speculating without any evidence to back it up. Present your evidence. Henry was dosed up with inhibitors. How could he have escaped if he was fully sedated? Doctor, was his dosage correct? Yes, Judge, as it has been for the last 10 years. Do you have anything to say, Grand Marshal? The demon inside him tricked us. He waited for the right moment. The inhibitors had never been right, but we didn't know. Doctor? That's quite the claim. It would mean that the demon was capable of plotting and fooling us for a decade. There's no medical evidence to suggest this happened. Very convenient that the demon pulled the trick right off at the end of the island. Why not attack sooner? This isn't hard evidence, but I'm taking into consideration. Excuse me, guys. I'm going to get rid of this hiccups. Just give me... I'll be right back. Okay, I think I got him. I can break Henry's alibi. Lady Love dies. Henry stands accused by everyone except you. Do the facts lie? Do you believe in the official version of events? No. The truth is distorted. The facts are wrong. Henry didn't go to the council building by himself. Fuck yeah, this is getting interesting. Henry remembers almost nothing about last night, except seeing New Night. He specifically remembers seeing the goddess. She didn't speak to him. He saw the goddess. The only statue of New Night is in the barracks, and a normal citizen can't know that because the barracks are classified. Henry's been in the barracks, though. That's where detainees are processed when they're arrested. The statue is in the main barracks grounds. Prisoners don't go through there, correct, Akiko? When I was arrested on Island 13, I only ever saw the entrance to the barracks, which connects directly to the underground holding cells. I'm not answering that. It's classified. Grand Marshal, you'll be found in contempt if you refuse to answer. Fine. Arrested individuals are taken through the main gate and directly down into the holding cells. Henry could only have seen New Night if he went through the tunnel that connects the Desolation Cell to the barracks. When he was arrested and taken to the Desolation Cell, he'd have to go through the main barracks grounds, though. That was 10 years ago. He has lost all of his memories from that incident. The only thing that he remembers is New Night last night. This sounds like a stretch, investigator. The only way to get to the council building from the Desolation Cell is in the window of time stated, is via the front gate of the HQ. The Nightmare computer logs on the HQ entrances having no record of Henry going through them. I don't believe he went through them. If he didn't go through the entrance, this whole case is thrown into disarray. The demonic sigils that cover Henry's body were found daubed in blood at the scene of the first SEAL marshals. What of them? Henry doesn't draw these symbols. There are no records of this occurring, and it is not in line with how the demon inside him behaves. The sigils formed on his skin through the projection of demonic language from the demon inside him. The demon scorched him with his own anger. Did the demon make him draw them? No, the demon doesn't micromanage Henry's actions. It just sets him on a path. Henry doesn't speak the demon's language either. I find it unlikely that Henry would perfectly recreate sigils from a language he doesn't speak. How did they get there, then? Most likely drawn by whoever was trying to frame Henry. Couldn't he have copied them from his own body? Only if he had a mirror and the time to do it. Very well. Excellent work. You have taken the lid off the box containing the truth. Henry's alibi is broken. Present your evidence. I can break Akiko's alibi. The truth requires to examine Akiko's alibi. Akiko went to execute Henry, but alleges Henry escaped at 2352. She claims she found him outside the council building at 003. I called witness as I left the Desolation Cell to go to the barracks to organize a search for Henry. Can anyone confirm that the Grand Marshal returned to the barracks? The Marshals confirmed that she went back to the barracks. However, it is hard to take their word as they are fiercely loyal to you and refuse to give me any physical evidence. Did you confirm the phone call? Akiko's phone records are apparently classified, and the investigator isn't allowed to access them. Witness confirmed he got a call from Akiko. I took witness's phone and analyzed the records at a comms tower. Starlight did some backtracing on the calls, and it appears Akiko lied. The call she made to witness wasn't from the Desolation Cell. The comms tower puts her location at the Syndicate HQ, which throws her timeline of events into question and puts her near the scene of the crime. Watch your language in the House of Justice. She's lying. Her little pocket calculator is wrong. She hasn't checked my phone. The data is incorrect. Witness testified that on the call from Akiko, he couldn't hear the Desolation Cell's distinctive dreadful atmosphere, or the ocean. That isn't conclusive proof, but it still suggests she wasn't where she claims. The rock of secrecy has been lifted and the truth exposed. The Grand Marshal's alibi has been broken. Okay, I have nothing to present. You have proven that the official version of the events for Akiko and Henry's movements last night are total fantasy. Combined with your evidence, you have created a truth that glints brilliantly in the light shown by the facts. I have considered your truth, ruminated on the implications, soaked in the facts, steeped the leaves of veracity, examined the grains of legitimacy. Oh, please, do go on. There is no jury here. I must leave it to the impartial sword of justice within me to stab through the heart of the lies and let the blood of truth flow. A truth is revealed. A truth is known. A truth proves Akiko guilty. Do you have anything to say, Grand Marshal? The harsh light of truth has shone upon your crime, and you will be sentenced to death. You were sworn to protect our beloved council. You pledged your blade for so long. You were a beacon of purity. Now you will be executed, and the Marshals will lose their leader. The island sequences will never be the same again. Why did you do it? You said I wouldn't hang for this. I beg your pardon, Grand Marshal. This was never part of the plan, you pompous Tarfa. Who are you talking to? Carmelina. You said this would work. Now I have a gun to my head. If I'm going down for this, so are you. The ravings of the guilty lashing out. I have no idea what she's talking about. Tell us everything, Akiko. You have nothing left to lose. If you're set up, you can have revenge. You promised to induct my soldiers into the Syndicate if I helped you. Now I'm going to be executed. You used me. You weren't careful enough, and now I'm going to die. I faked Henry's escape. I was supposed to deliver him outside to the council building. Phone witness and report that I found him after the council were dead. Carmelina? She's lying. She's been found out in her own little scheme, now she's trying to take innocent people down with her. I took Henry through the barracks to the council building. The official report is a lie. Lady Love dies. Sounds like a conspiracy, Judge. Open a case file.
Carmelina's conspiracy.
Alright, there is evidence to suggest Carmelina may have been the mastermind of a conspiracy to kill the council. No fucking shit. Judgment is passed. Lady Love dies. While you're in here, you do not have access to the phones you have been using to record your progress. Would you like me to save your progress now? Sure. I will save your progress before the next trial begins. This one.
Getting saved.
Henry's demonic possession. A decade ago, Henry became possessed by a demon, killing his mother and allowing demonic corruption to spill out into the world. The area around his apartment was sealed off and became the dead zone. During his arrest, he killed the Syndicate's exorcist, Grace Bloodlines. For the last 10 years, he has been contained and sedated in the desolation cells with inhibitors. Investigator. Starlight has logged Henry's possession a decade ago as a case file related to the murder of the council. Starlight being overzealous, or do you believe there is something that warrants investigation? Was someone else involved with Henry's possession and the demonic invasion that spelled doom for the island? Yeah, it's definitely Yuri. I believe Yuri pushed Henry down the path to possession. I thought you were supposed to be an investigation freak. You've got nothing on me. Present your evidence. Alright. Inside a safe in Henry's apartment is one of the forbidden tomes of demonology from the library vault. What's that got to do with me? Which book? The Grimoire of Majida. Frightful tome. How did a citizen come to obtain one of the restricted texts? Present your evidence. Henry told me a stranger supplied him with a tome that would lead to his possession. Someone took a shine to him and slipped him a restricted text. And you think it was me? You're a joke. I had nothing to do with this. I don't consort with citizens. You'll need better evidence than this. Yuri accessed the vault that contains the books on demonology. I believe Yuri took books on demonology and gave them to Henry, preying on a vulnerable mind and pushing him towards communicating with the gods. The plan was for him to become possessed. The plan? The freak wouldn't know a plan if she saw it. She's just making up stories and you're going along with it. Exile caused her brain to rot. You're letting the freak fool you with lies, speculation, and fiction. The plan will become clear in later case files. There is a conspiracy at play and I need you to trust me. If I get this wrong, you can reverse the conviction. I'll go back to the idle lands and Yuri can walk free. Someone committed the crime to end all crimes, and the path to the truth is a winding one. We cannot go on trust. This is not justice. Do not dare to lecture me on justice. I am justice incarnate. The court trusts the investigator. Present your evidence. I have nothing to present. I have considered your truth, ruminated on the implications, soaked in the facts, steeped in the leaves of veracity, examined the grains of legitimacy. There's no jury here. I must leave it to the impartial sword of justice. Blah, blah, blah. The truth is revealed. The truth is known. The truth proves Yuri guilty. This is unacceptable. Do you know who I am? I have been chosen. I will be on the next council. This freak has taken away my destiny. I will burn the syndicate to the ground. Yuri, be quiet. No, I'm the blessed servant of my goddess. I was destined for greatness. I helped you, and now I'm going to die. These are the ravings of someone deceived by a god that's been caught out. Is this true, Yuri? She promised me a seat on the new council, and to retrieve Enchanted Blue from the real world. Nonsense. I got Henry the books on demonology, sent him down the dark path. The plan needed the island to end. Henry provided the answer. The truth lies within the conspiracy. Lady Love dies. While you're in here, you do not have access to... Yep. Save. Okay. It's 2 for 2 so far, I believe. So, murderer of Grace bloodlines. Grace was our chief exorcist, and Henry was convicted for a murder, which he allegedly committed during his arrest. One Last Kiss seems to think she was set up to die. Grace Bloodlines was murdered 10 years ago. I presided over the trial. I saw the sun's light cast the shadows from the terror and leave only truth visible. You didn't have me on the island 10 years ago. Do these terrible events from a decade ago have a link to the tragedy of last night? I investigated it on the behalf of One Last Kiss. Who was One Last Kiss? The ghost of Grace Bloodlines. She's on the island. A ghost of a murder victim 10 years ago is on the island? Is that so hard to believe, Judge? Can you prove you are who you say you are? Haunted Complex Crescent Drifting Sand Satellite. Confirmation. Grace Bloodline's unique blood code. One Last Kiss asked me to find her resting spot. I unlocked her blood vial and she confirmed the code independently. It's so nice to see everyone again. What do you have to do with the murder last night? I was murdered 10 years ago, allegedly by Henry, who everyone would have you believe is the council murderer. It makes you think, doesn't it? What if the two are linked? One Last Kiss asked me to investigate her murder. She believed there is more to it than the official version of events. Do you suspect her? No, I don't. No, I believe she's a victim in all this. Well done, investigator. You have seen the truth clearly. Paradise gets even more bizarre. The trials continue. Lady Love Dives, drive us along the highway of truth. So the ring is like the big thing, right? Because the photo has like a... Yeah, you could see like... I'm pointing to the screen. In the picture, you could see that there's like a gap where like the ring would be on like the ring finger. And that's a big tell. Yeah, it's Carmelina. When Akiko left Grace with Henry, it was to speak to Carmelina. Yeah, I'm going to accuse her. I believe Carmelina was the architect of her murder. This is nonsense. You have no evidence. Present your evidence. Alright. When Henry was arrested, Grace was meeting with Carmelina. Carmelina requested to accompany Grace on the exorcism. This is unusual, as it would place Carmelina in an unnecessary amount of danger. May be unusual, but it doesn't prove she's the perpetrator. Of course it doesn't. The investigator is trying to prove a fantasy. It may have placed me in danger, but the pursuit of knowledge sometimes requires risk. Okay. While Grace and Carmelina were en route to Henry, Carmelina sent a message to Akiko. She instructed her to leave Henry and Grace alone together. This message was intercepted before it was scrubbed from the server. Carmelina forgot to use encryption. Architect? I have no recollection of this. Sounds like a fabrication. Alright. I found a photo of Grace's body that had been excluded from the report. It was hidden on the barracks server. It showed the strangle marks on Grace's neck. Doomjazz took a look at it and suggested that they were done by someone who wore a wedding ring. Carmelina wore a wedding ring at the time when Grace was killed. I suspect that Carmelina killed Grace when Henry didn't step up and do it for her. This is tenuous, isn't it? Anything could have caused that mark, couldn't it? Doctor, it is my firm opinion that this was done by a ring worn on the wedding ring finger. Bruising can contain very detailed information. Preposterous. The doctor would say anything to a pretty face. Back off, Architect. Leader. We'll see about that. Why would Architect Carmelina have killed Grace? Yuri gave Henry demonology books. Henry was being set up to end the island and possibly be scapegoated for the murder of the council. A dead exorcist means that the demon in Henry would still be around and useful when it came time to pin the blame on someone for last night. When Henry didn't kill Grace Bloodlines, Akiko stepped in and framed Henry, giving him a history of murder. This sounds like a conspiracy, investigator. I believe so, Judge. Very well. Absolutely not. This is a farce. Hold your tongue in the halls of justice. Alright, I'm done. I have nothing to present. You have presented a veritable treasure trove of facts. Yeah. There's no jury. The truth is revealed. Carmelina guilty. Grace Bloodlines was murdered by the hand of the architect. So this is the truth. Thank you for your work, investigator. What? How dare you? This is nonsense. This trial is over. Henry will be executed and the freak will be sent back to the Idle Lands. This is my courtroom. I'm justice incarnate. You do not have the authority to end the trials. You have been found guilty. You will receive your punishment. The trials continue. This is turning into the Orient Express. Lady Love dies. While you're here, you do not have access to the phones. Yeah, save.
Getting saved.
Who killed the Holy Seal Marshals? The first Holy Seal that protects the Council is made up of 2 high-ranking God Justice Marshals. Fearsome warriors trained to neutralize potential threats to the Council. Who killed them and how? Last night, the taloned hand of death reached out for the first Holy Seal guards. They were butchered at their post. Who snatched a life from them? Was it the accused, or is there another truth skulking on the periphery of our knowledge? They were elite marshals and gave their lives guarding our beloved council. How were they killed and why? I'll be confident. I will show you the truth. Investigator, please review your case file and confirm who you wish to accuse. Completely forgot who this one was. It's not him. It's got to be Akiko. It's a blood mismatch. Oh, it's, no. Why can I not move down? I cannot move down on the, like, on the side. Would this work? Yeah. Sorry, guys. There was that evidence that there was like criminals used that we found in the, what's it called? In the barracks. I'm not seeing that here. So this specifically about the... Yeah, it's just these guys, right? Yeah. I'm gonna say it's Akiko. The dead marshal blood doesn't match the record of the marshals that are supposed to be stationed there. Who's really guarding the council building? These marshals were assigned by Akiko. Akiko claims Starlight has made a mistake. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to accuse her. The Grand Marshal holds the answers. You're out of your mind. You dare accuse me of murdering my own marshals? Present your evidence. Okay. They're not your marshals. An unexpected glint of truth in the riverbed of mystery. The dead bodies at the first seal aren't marshals. That's a lie. Where are the real marshals? My suspicion is somewhere in the barracks. Do you have anything to say, Grand Marshal? I guess she does, but I don't know what it means. Grand Marshal, this is a courtroom. Keep your language in check. A blood sample from the dead guards doesn't match any records for the marshals. She's lying. Her little PDA got it wrong. Did Starlight get it wrong? Is this really the truth? This is the truth, Judge. The blood doesn't match. Those bodies are not marshals. Did you run a DNA test on the bodies? No. Dr. Doomjazz told me that the server containing the necessary DNA files have been corrupted. Is this true? Yes, Judge. My system's automated backup failed. I checked the one on the moon, and that had corrupted as well. Can we recover the data? The only people that can are on the next island, and we're in lockdown. Do you suspect foul play? There's no way to tell. Troubling. Carry on, investigator. Akiko refused to let Dr. Doom Jazz examine the bodies. Why? She didn't want to dishonor their sacrifice. This is a break in procedure. They gave their lives in service. Their bodies should not be desecrated by an examination. I believe she was trying to hide the fact that the blood didn't match. Why? Akiko is in a relationship with Captain Voth, who was stationed at the first seal last night. Don't you dare say his name. Do not dishonor him with your lies. How do you know this, Loved Eyes? Crimson testified to it. Miss Acid? I can't divulge my sources, but it's true. Relationships between the Grand Marshal and her troops are expressly forbidden. Dr. Doomjazz testified that the Council had found out about her relationships with her troops. You really can't keep anything to yourself if you see a little bit of leg, can you? I'm sorry, Akiko. I never thought you were involved with any of this. I am duty-bound to aid an investigation. Did it work? Did you get laid? Enough. Do not taint the sanctity of this Church of Truth. Ice Kiwami told him that the Council were going to strip her of her authority on the next island. If Akiko knew this, it would give her motive to kill the Council. Soldiers are sworn to give their lives in service. As their commander, I didn't take the honor of a glorious death from them. Then why did you switch the bodies? The bodies weren't switched. You made this up. Can you prove the bodies weren't switched, Grand Marshal? There are records in the barracks. Judge, the barracks have become Akiko's own private fiefdom. The marshals are not loyal to the Syndicate or the gods. They are loyal to her. Any proof she can magic up from the barracks can't be trusted. I agree with you, Investigator. Akiko didn't want her troops to die. She knew about the murder and switched them. Can you prove that? Akiko removed 2 prisoners from the barracks prison. There we go. Do you have proof that they are the murdered guards? No, but they are unaccounted for. They were never locked back into the prison after being removed. Can't even make up a convincing story for her lie. I can't prove that she switched them, but the narrative fits. Do you have anything else? Well, I got plenty. The guards were killed with a damaged blade. A damaged blade? The lacerations on their throat were ragged. This indicates a blade with nicks or damage that would have caused them. Akiko's sword is battle damaged and would have caused the messy lacerations on the victims. Akiko staged the guard murder and scapegoated Henry. This fits with her plan of faking Henry's escape. What's the grand plan, Loved Eyes? We've got more case files to go, Judge. What about the blade Henry was found with? Henry's blade was a new perfect blade. It doesn't have a serrated edge. It wouldn't have made a ragged cut. Akiko staged the guard murder and scapegoated Henry. She made a mistake, or got too cocky, though, and didn't use the right blade to kill the guards. Do you have anything else? Akiko's alibi has been broken. Do you have anything else? Akiko staged the guard murder and scapegoated Henry. She has a previous conviction. Why else would she have aided his escape? That's it. Good work, Loved Eyes. I've considered your truth. Yeah. The truth in this case sparkles brilliantly. Oh, nice. I'm on the right track. Akiko guilty. Got anything to say about this one, Akiko? I was ordered to kill my troops. I would never do that. Bonds born on the battlefield cannot be broken. That's a lie. She's lying. I switched the guards out for prisoners and killed the fakes. Why didn't you admit to it when you told us about the rest of your involvement? Are you stupid? Before all of this, I was a soldier. I will be a soldier until I die. Soldiers always see their mission through. I was not going to have my name further tarnished if you hadn't got the evidence. I wouldn't be executed regardless. Soldiers must maintain their dignity no matter what. The truth becomes clear. Lady Love dies. Yeah, let's see.
Getting saved.
KHX is missing. KHX is the Syndicate's master craftsman and designer on the second holy seal that protects the Council. He has been seen for a number of days. Our craftsman KHX is missing. Was he the victim of a crafted tragedy? He disappeared a number of days ago. Strange for a Syndicate member, but suspicious because he crafted the second holy seal. Did someone try to obtain the secret from him? Investigator, do you know what happened to KHX? He's dead, lying on the rocks on the coast of the island. Dead? The fangs of death gripped this island so tightly. How could this happen? Investigator, please review your case file and confirm who you wish to accuse. It was not her. It was not Crimson Acid, I don't think. I mean, she's The long-rambling diary of an obsessive KHX believed that with Perfect 25, the Syndicate would ascend to heaven with the gods. The target of his obsession seems to be Crimson. He references her being his queen of the astral heavens after the ascension. Yeah, I don't think it was her. I'm pretty sure it was Yuri. Yeah, I'm gonna accuse him. I believe Yuri is behind the disappearance. Want to save me some trouble here and cooperate, Yuri? I'm not going down without a fight, freak. You need to prove it. Present your evidence. Alright. KHX's dead body was clutching Yuri's ring. How do you know it belongs to Yuri? Lydia confirmed it. Yuri had apparently lost it. In this case, he lost it in the hand of her murder victim. KHX had it in a death grip. I believe he pulled it off in the struggle when he knew he was going to die. He held onto it in death, to give us a clue. Someone's trying to frame me. They stole my ring and planted it at the scene. Is there any evidence that the ring had been planted? None. The fist was gripping it tightly. If it had been planted, it would have to have been done before rigor mortis set in. You people are out of your minds. This wasn't me. Present your evidence. Construct a truth. There are drag marks leading away from KHX's workshop. I believe Yuri killed him to get the key to the second seal and tried to hide his body. Those could have come from anywhere. This is a farce. Yuri shut down the boat rides around the island on the same day that KHX went missing. Yuri picked a bad place to dump the body and needed to make sure it wouldn't be found. Yuri? Shutting down the boats is one of my duties. There's something out of the ordinary. Why do it early? Who cares about the boats? They're only there for citizens to try and block out the mundanity of their existence for a few minutes. I shut them down early. So what? I'm just getting work done. That's all I got. The truth shines like the moon on a cloudless night. Was this part of your orders as well, Yuri? Fine. I got the key for the second seal for her. KHX was an unfortunate casualty. This is the ravings of someone deceived by God that's been caught out. We'll get to you later. And you got it by force? It wasn't supposed to be like that. I offered him a council seat in the hope he'd turn. We fought and I smashed him with a tool he had lying around. How did you get the key from him? His laptop was unlocked. It wasn't hard to find. I copied the file, dumped his body, and left. Nonsense. I have considered your truth. Yep. Truth is revealed. Yuri is found guilty. Lady Love dies. While you're in here... Yeah.
Getting saved.
The second Holy Seal. The Council constructed a doorway to plateau in space. The dreadful monuments that are used to open the second Holy Seal. Lady Love dies. What is the second Holy Seal and how was it breached? Take us for a holiday to the land of truth. Let us sip cocktails of facts on the beach of justice. With the help of KHX, the Council constructed a puzzle-based monument system on a plateau on a desolate planet outside of our solar system. The door to the Council building acts as a portal to this antique part of space. The obelisks on the beach provide the solution to the puzzle and are activated using KHX's key. Or Starlight. The key carries a protocol which handshakes with the obelisk's nightmare computer. Starlight can crack it. Investigator, please review your case file. Alright. Yeah, it's not Henry. Yeah, Lydia... Yeah, I don't think it was Yuri. I think it was Lydia. So the water damage and corrupted tablet device. It boots up and the login screen confirms that it is Lydia's. Contains a corrupted message from Witness with a data key to the nightmare computer that controls the obelisk. Space helmet smells of Lydia's perfume. Space helmet is required to traverse the second holy seal. So Lydia's tablet is water damage and corrupted, but Starlight managed to pull it back up. The most recently modified file is a corrupted message that's sent by Witness to the end with a file attached. That file is a key to the nightmare computer that is linked to the obelisk on the beach. Lydia claimed to know nothing about it. There are tire tracks on the cliff overlooking the obelisk. Lydia is the only one on the island with a car. I mean, it's obviously going to be either Lydia or Witness, but I don't think it's Witness. There were pink petals near the helmets. That I don't know. I don't know why there were pink petals. Because, like, even in the council chambers, there was actually pink petals. And she doesn't have any pink petals. I would assume it was after she was driving him around. Did she drive him around? I can't remember. And some got stuck on her. In her hair, maybe? I don't know. But the space helmet, I think, is like the clincher. I'm going to go with Lydia. I believe Lydia went through the seal. This is a joke, LD. Present your evidence. Alright. I found Lydia's tablet rammed down a drain. It contains an email with a file. That file is the key to the second seal obelisks. Do you have any idea who the sender was? Witness. In addition, Crimson told me that she managed to obtain the key from KHX on behalf of Witness. That's a revelation, investigator. It wasn't relevant to the KHX prosecution at the time. Multiple parties were out to secure the key on the second seal. So Witness got the key and passed it to Lydia. I believe so. Ms. Daybreak, do you have anything to say? I don't know what LD's talking about. I never saw what that message was. Do you have proof that she used it? Overlooking the obelisk computer is a cliff with tire tracks on it. Lydia is the only one with the island on the island with a car. Oh, come on, LD. That's circumstantial. We used to hang out all over the islands in my car. The obelisk nightmare computer had been accessed remotely using a wireless device, presumably from the cliff top. There's a clear vantage point, and using remote access allows you to obscure the login. Okay. And I found a hidden space helmet that smells of Lydia's perfume. The council used helmets to breathe in space when they traversed the second seal. Whoever went through the second seal would also need one. You're only linking it to Lydia by perfume? Any of the council could have used it previously. Lydia's perfume is a unique blend. Only she has a recipe. No one else could have used it with this helmet. Isn't that right, Lydia? Don't know what to tell you, LD. Someone's trying to set me up with that. I have a unique blend of perfume, but maybe someone got hold of it to frame me. Did you find any evidence of this? No. I have nothing to present. What about Lydia's alibi? Tell me about Lydia and Sam's alibi. Lydia told me she was at the Paradise Gates with Sam. They started the warm-up sequence and were waiting there while the murder happened. The nightmare computer logs on the gate confirm this. The warm-up sequence started at 23:57. Have you got anything that contradicts this? As it happens, an alibi for last night is irrelevant. The crimes began a number of days ago. What do you mean? I found evidence which suggested the Daybreaks were involved with the crime, but their involvement did not occur last night. They breached the Holy Seals to sow the seeds of crime 2 days ago. The crime was not one of opportunity. An opportunity was crafted and required prior planning. All evidence I present against them must be taken in this context. Whatever happened last night had the groundwork laid by the daybreaks 2 days ago. What is this evidence? Trust me, Judge. When we get to it, we'll cover it. The truth is a meal. All ingredients need to be present. I wouldn't do this for anybody else, but there is a reason I called the investigation freak out of exile. The court trusts you. What the hell? This isn't right. Come on, LD. After all this time, how can you suspect us? We were waiting to leave paradise. This is a joke, LD. You've taken some facts and made a lie, not a truth. You've twisted the world into a new image. You are wrong, LD. Do not question my decision when you're within the domain of justice. We have stopped at the highway service station of truth. Lydia and Sam's alibi is broken. I've considered your truth. Yeah. Lydia, guilty. You have been faithful and devoted member of the Glorious Syndicate for so long. Why would you turn your back on us now? The penalty for this crime is death. You'll be executed by a bullet of justice from the gun of truth. This is the end of your eternal road trip, Lydia. Why? God damn it, LD. I'm dead, right? Damn it all to hell. The punishment is execution. It wasn't supposed to work out this way. This was designed to be unsolvable. I never thought you'd be brought back. I helped so I could leave these islands behind. I don't care about Perfect 25. Help who? Witness. He said if I helped, I could leave the syndicate. Help with what? Deliver a cargo. I don't know what it was. Heavy as hell, though. Almost cracked the axles. I just had to get it into the council building a couple of days ago. What was the cargo? No idea. I didn't ask questions. I just got inside the council building. It was a black security gate crate. What about the other seals? God damn it. Yeah, those two. I assume Sam helped you? No, LD, it was just me. I really doubt that. You were going to leave the syndicate by yourself. It's okay, Lydia. I can't live without you, can I? If you're guilty, I'm guilty, aren't I? We promised each other too much, didn't we? That can't be for nothing, can it? We work together. For witness. If Lydia's gonna die, I want to go with her. Heaven sounds better than an island without her, doesn't it? It was 2 days ago, LD. I don't know what the hell happened in that building last night, but we were in there 2 days ago. We followed Witness's plan and opened all the seals. We took his crate through and hid it in the penthouse. The crime to end all crimes, set up 2 days ago. We have a conspiracy, Love Dies. There is no conspiracy. The guilty are trying to take me down with them, jealous of my righteousness in the face of their heresy. That's a bag of crap. You promised me and Sammy that we'd be able to leave the syndicate if we helped. We knew we shouldn't. We knew whatever you were planning would be an atrocity. You've been here too long. There's only so many millennia that can be endured, aren't there? The world needs to be seen. Islands kill the mind, don't they? The truth becomes clear. Lady Love dies. Time to save.
Getting saved.
Alright, I'm going to take a quick break because it's been a while. I'll be right back. Alright, let's continue. Who opened the third seal? The third seal is a blood lock coded to the blood of the council members. I need to find out who opened the lock on the night of the murder. Someone breached the third holy seal and took a step away from innocence, towards crime. Please bring us a meal of truth so that we may gorge on justice. Lady Love dies. What is the third seal? A blood lock that is coded to council members. To get through it, you either need council blood in your body or a sample to trick the lock. But we have a confession. Lydia and Sam breach the seals. Is that the whole truth, or does another truth lurk here? There's more truth to find. Who went through it? No, it wasn't him. Wasn't him. It's this guy. I believe this guy was the one who could get through the coded lock. Who is this? A mysterious killer hidden on the island. A tantalizing truth. The secret lies within the architect's alibi. This is nonsense. The investigation freak is fabricating a lie. I had nothing to do with the dreadful events of last night. I was at Witness's apartment all night until we were summoned by Judge for the crisis meeting. I couldn't confirm it, but Witness corroborates her story. Are you able to disprove it? Witness stepped out onto his balcony for 5 minutes to take a call from Makiko. Carmelina was accounted for in those 5 minutes. Takes more than 5 minutes to get to the council building, commit a crime, and return, doesn't it? And the building logs would have registered her returning. That's true. When Carmelina architected the island, she constructed a network of transdimensional corridors that allow her to move across the island in an instant. That is absolute nonsense. Secret transdimensional corridors? Are you serious? Is the truth really hiding in these bizarre facts? I found Carmelina's son in a hidden vault in the mountain. His name was whatever, and he gave me this key which unlocks the corridors. From this vault, the corridors connect to Witness's apartment and the council building. In the 5 minutes Witness was out on his balcony taking a call, Carmelina could have used the corridor to get to the council building. This is a shocking revelation. Can you prove it? Starlight can verify my movements. User LLD traveled between these exits of corridors in 0.021% of the time it would take on foot. This is all a lie the investigator cooked up. I verified Starlight's data. Lady Loved Eyes is telling the truth. Why not create a corridor straight to the penthouse? I don't believe you can make a corridor if you don't know the destination. Carmelina has never been to the penthouse, so she couldn't make a corridor to it. There is a corridor leading from the outside of the penthouse back to his vault. I believe he inherited his mother's power to make corridors and escaped back to his room by making a corridor. I never expected anything like this, Loved Eyes. Carmelina had a window of opportunity and used it to travel via her secret corridors, get him, and deposit him at the council building. Carmelina went into isolation 25 years ago. Why? No one knows. Because she had a child. She claimed to work on a new project, but no one in the syndicate ever saw what the result was. I think she had a child in secret. Who's the father? Aiz Kiwami. He and whatever had the same blood. Had? Aiz took his own life 10 years ago, and he killed himself when I found him. Why? We'll get to that later, Judge. This sounds like a conspiracy. Just conspiracy after conspiracy. Architect Carmelina's alibi is broken. Present your evidence. Construct a truth. Alright. Aiz Kiwami is his father. He's got council blood. His blood is in the penthouse. He was there last night. Before he killed himself, he told me he killed the council. To kill the council, he would have needed to get through the seals. His blood has been used on the third seal lock. The blood lock registered his blood last night. And that's it. Henry's blood was logged on the blood lock, but this was clearly planted. That doesn't prove he went through the lock. Judge, I think you and I both know that this is bigger than Henry, and he's being scapegoated. The truths are strange on this island. I agree. Okay, he is guilty. Lady Loved Eyes, would you like to save? I would, Judge. Thank you for asking.
Getting saved.
How many more of these do we have? Who breached the fourth holy seal? Fourth holy seal requires godliness to get through. I need to find out how someone tricked the seal. The fourth holy seal lies deep within the dense fog of abstruse mysteries this island has to offer. Abstruse? Lady Loved Eyes, what is the fourth holy seal? It requires godliness to pass through. Godliness? How did the council pass through it? Montserrat owned a piece of crying grudge's flesh and a pendant that would allow him to open the seal. This means that the council can only enter with Montserrat. We have a confession. Lydia and Sam breached seals. Is that the whole truth, or does another truth lurk here? There is more truth to find. Who breached a fourth seal and found themselves at the scene of carnage? I mean, it really seems it's him. I mean, he said that he killed them, right? Yeah, it's him. I believe he got through the seal. Alright. He had a strange piece of flesh fused to his body. Just looking at it overwhelmed me with a feeling of cosmic dread. I went to see Crying Grudge. He told me that Carmelina carved a lump of his flesh off. I believe she fused that flesh with him, creating a killer that could pass through the fourth seal. Alright. We have already found him guilty of going through the third seal. To complete his mission, he would have needed to breach the fourth seal as well. A bizarre truth. Yeah, we already have a confession from Daybreaks. They went through all of the seals 2 days ago. Bizarre truths, dangerous facts, the fear of mystery. Court also finds Sam guilty for his confessed involvement 2 days ago. Okay. I don't know why I keep saving. There's no point.
Getting saved.
The mystery of the dead killer demon. Demonic invasions occur most islands, and the marshals hunt the demons down. What the hell is one doing inside the council penthouse? Okay, you have a case file about a killer demon inside the penthouse. The truths in play grow bizarre, like an old tree grows gnarled. A killer demon? What killer demon? I found a dead killer demon inside the council penthouse. There aren't supposed to be any demons on the island. A killer demon in the council penthouse? What was it doing there? It has the blood of several council members on its claws. It was involved in the murder of the council. It appears that it burst out of a hidden security crate and, attacked the council. How did it die? Montserrat shot it during the murder. There was a Focata bullet that came from Montserrat's gun in the killer demon's head. Anything to do with your cargo, Lydia? Black security crate? Yep. And that's it. It really contained a killer demon? Looks like it. That makes witness guilty. Working in the light of the god makes me guilty of nothing. You need to prove any accusations in court. He's right, Loved Eyes. The dark deduction of the dead demon's destruction is for another case file. The truth about where it came from must be dredged from the swamp of mystery first. So, what the hell is it doing inside the council penthouse? I mean, yeah, it's obviously him. That righteous man transgressed. Ew. Witnesses the origin of the killer demon. Laughable. I'm a holy man, not a sinner. I found the killer demon along with the demonic containment crate in the penthouse. A demonic containment crate? It is some kind of incarceration device that imprisons the demon with holy restraints. There are bindings and manacles covered in holy wards. These restrained a killer demon and kept it contained. Why? It was likely placed there ahead of time as a means to kill the council. Okay. There's a secret demonology lab hidden within the dead zone. The lock on it is coded to Witness's blood vial. That is an old panic room. I never use it for demonology. Someone has planted that evidence. That lab has the same crates as the one in the penthouse. During the extermination 10 years ago, Witness managed to capture a killer demon and contain it. A heretical accusation. How could I have done that? There is a tunnel running from Sam's bar to the dead zone. Witness has been seen using it to access the dead zone. Seen by who? Sinner that would besmirch the name of a holy man? Carmelina confessed to me that Witness maintained a secret demonology lab on the island in an abandoned bunker. Lies, lies, lies! This is a persecution of the holy. Last night at midnight, Witness made a phone call to an unknown number. That number matches the number on a receiver attached to the demonic containment crate inside the penthouse. The receiver was designed to open the crate when it received a call. This would let the killer demon out, presumably to attack the council. A ridiculous accusation. Why would I want to release a killer demon? Demons are abominations. Why not explain how the phone number you dialed matches the receiver? I can't explain a lie fabricated by a sinner. Can you prove this accusation? I verified the data using Witness's personal phone and a comms tower. He made the call, and the receiver picked up, unlocking the demonic containment crate. Lies. We have the testimony of Lydia and Sam. People who face a death sentence have nothing to lose. They can say whatever they want. There is no consequence when you stand over the precipice of execution. He's right, investigator. I got nothing else. I've considered the truth. Truth is revealed. Witness is guilty. You have overseen so many wonderful islands. Why turn your back on us now? Such is the burden of a martyr. You may think of me as a sinner, but I work for a holy purpose. You have all strayed from the path, and the gods weep. I hope they weep for you as well. What was the play here? The killer demon was placed in the penthouse as a remote weapon. The security crate was hidden in the room. When the killer demon was released, it attacked everyone in the room on sight. That sounds risky. I don't know if it was meant to kill all the council. Just the presence of the killer demon would be enough to scare the council. A dreadful truth. Lady Love dies. While you're in here... Yeah.
Getting saved.
Okay, the crime to end all crimes. Last night the council were murdered as they birthed the next island through meditation. Was that power play or killing for kicks? Who did it and why? The crime to end all crimes. Murder in the night. The Paradise Killer. Who killed the council? By the way, she said it. Game's over. We can all go home. Truth has aged like a fine whiskey. How does the whiskey on this island taste? Pour us a glass of truth so that we may sip upon a vintage blend of justice. I want to know who held the knife. If a killer was set up by a mastermind, we will deal with that later. I want to know who gripped a knife of murder in their palm of guilt. Show us the ultimate truth. I mean... yeah, it's him. He is the Paradise Killer. And before he killed himself, he told me he killed the council. He was given this mission by his mother, Carmelina. She engineered a killer. His room was bare besides knife combat training equipment. These trials are over. This is a big lie. No, it isn't. He confessed everything. I found a knife covered in the council's blood on his corpse. The lacerations match his blade. All the wounds on the victims are clean. The victims were sliced apart with fatal wounds. He moved quickly and cleanly. The penthouse is covered in blood. He hit major arteries, disemboweled victims, and carved his way through the room. The council were coming out of their meditation when he struck them when they could barely fight back. Okay. His blood is at the scene. He was shot by Montserrat and left blood splatter in the penthouse. This proves that he got through the seals. Leader Montserrat shot him, presumably in self-defense. He attacked as the council's meditation finished. Montserrat was attacked, but as he fired his gun, wounding him. Montserrat was growing paranoid. One of the manifestations of this seems to be carrying a weapon. I believe Leader Montserrat was the most awake, while the others were still coming around from their meditation. He got to him, but as he attacked, Montserrat shot. He fled after the bullet went through him. He fled bleeding. His blood is outside the penthouse. He created a transdimensional corridor and escaped back to his lair where I found him bleeding out. He had to have gone through the seals to get into the penthouse. He inherited his mother's power to create corridors. He's sloppy, but he can do it. He stumbled out of the penthouse and created a corridor to escape with. He was bleeding badly, and his blood trailed his route home. I believe you need to know the start and end points of a corridor when you create one. Carmelina couldn't create a corridor to the penthouse because the interior of the council building is a closely guarded secret. I don't think Carmelina knew he could create corridors. He was supposed to die in the locked room at the end of the island. Her plan was solid, except for two wild cards: his ability and my return from exile. We know he breached the fourth holy seal. I'm fairly certain he didn't just turn around and go home after making it to the entrance of the penthouse. And I have nothing else. The secret killer is the truth. A truth is revealed. He is guilty. The tendrils of conspiracy snake around us. Starlight has a case file that will help us chop back the tendrils and expose the truth hiding within. Review the evidence, investigator. Okay, what am I doing? Carmelina's conspiracy. Oh, I see. I'm looking at all my evidence. Okay. So Carmelina's alibi was designed to look watertight. She was with Witness the whole night. However, she knew Witness stepped out on the balcony to take calls. When he did, she slipped out using a transdimensional corridor and delivered him to the council building. So he is Carmelina's son. He was found with a murder weapon covered in the blood of the victims. He had been hidden in transdimensional corridors which linked to the council building. Carmelina likely knew that Ais Kiwami had fathered Henry as an illegitimate child. This gave Carmelina a way of having a son with council blood that she could keep secret. I mean, technically she has council blood too, because her father, right? Her father was a council member. Yuri took KHX's key. Under Carmelina's orders, Yuri took the key to the second holy seal from KHX. Carmelina killed Grace Bloodlines to scapegoat Henry as a murderer. Yuri accessed the forbidden demonology grimoires and supplied them to Henry, leading him down to a path of possession. Yuri admitted to being recruited by Carmelina. In return for his help, he would gain a council position and would be allowed to retrieve the goddess Enchanted Blue from the real world. The official version of events is a lie. Henry didn't escape by himself. Akiko faked Henry's escape. Akiko admitted to being recruited by Carmelina. In return for her help, Carmelina would induct the marshals into the syndicate and expand Akiko's power. The sigils found on the crime scene are likely fake. The demon inside Henry sears them to surfaces upon contact. Henry has no history of painting them. Alright. Can you explain this conspiracy? Can you refine the truth from the aura of crime? I believe that Carmelina initiated a conspiracy to kill the council last night. She created Perfect 25 and wanted to make sure it was hers. Carmelina is being punished for her father's crimes. The Silence family were barred from ever being on the council as part of his punishment. Crimson told me that Carmelina has put in a number of motions to join the council that have all been denied. She's a genius architect that has helped the syndicate birth a potentially perfect island. Does she feel she deserves a seat on the council? She knows the 25th island will be perfect. Is she worried she won't get credit for it? Witness testified that he's worried that Carmelina has changed. Maybe she expects more reward for her craft. Carmelina had a secret child. She kept him hidden in transdimensional corridors that she built with her skills as the architect. Okay, his father was Ice Kiwami. The council blood from his father would allow him to breach the bloodlock on the third holy seal. Carmelina presumably learned that Henry had been fathered illegitimately by Eyes and had been kept a secret. That meant she could get a secret child as well. When I found him, he told me his mission had been to kill the council. He had a knife slick with blood, with the blood of the council members. He completed his mission. He would birth a new syndicate, dying for Carmelina's sins. Carmelina took a lump of flesh from the god-crying grudge to get through the fourth seal. She fused this to his body. Yuri confessed to being recruited by Carmelina. Yuri got the key to the second seal from KHX under orders from Carmelina. I believe Yuri helped Henry obtain forbidden books on demonology. If Henry became possessed by a demon, it would initiate the end of the island and allow Carmelina's plan to be put into play. Henry's possession called for an exorcism. Carmelina wanted Henry to kill Grace Bloodlines to give him a prior history of murder. When he didn't step up, Carmelina intervened and killed Grace herself. A demonically possessed citizen would be the perfect tool. Carmelina recruited Akiko into her plan. Akiko aided her by purposefully leaving Henry alone with Grace. Akiko faked Henry's escape, putting a possible killer into play. Akiko knew the first seal marshals would be killed and switched them to protect her beloved marshals. Carmelina's plan was achieved by using her transdimensional corridors. Her alibi looked perfect, but she knew Witness would leave the room when he got a call. She knew Akiko would call at the right time and use that opportunity to slip out of Witness's apartment, get him, and deliver her killer to the council building. Do you have anything to say, Architect? You people would have nothing if it weren't for me. All these islands that you drifted along on, all your tragic little lives, all given to you by me. I facilitate the syndicate. I craft your homes. I've never been rewarded for my work, never been on the council, always living off to the side. Not even Perfect 25 got me the recognition I deserve. I don't expect the world, just some kind of reward to show what I did was worth it. Craft is its own reward. Be quiet, freak. What would you know? How did you know you'd be made leader during the crisis? That's the irony. I didn't. I didn't expect Justice Incarnate to reverse the law and make me leader. So what was the play on the next island? When the chips are down, every one of the syndicate is a coward and a sycophant. You all want your little bits of power and for your little lives to carry on ticking by. The next council would be scared. All seniority would be gone, and I would be the one that had crafted Perfect 25. I would make sure I had the throne. My father was a victim, but treated like a criminal. He was executed by a coward. You people never appreciate what others do for you. The Grand Marshal will give you a loyal army to make sure of it. The plan failed. The truth is known. You arrogantly believed everyone would believe Henry, a citizen, was capable of breaching the Holy Seals and murdering the Council. Justice is immune to arrogance. A hideous, heinous truth. A vile truth. Architect, you have been found guilty of conspiring to kill the Council. Your punishment is death. The Onyxian claws of conspiracy tear at the flesh of this island. I can feel the dreadful shadow of this conspiracy looming over us. Can you explain this conspiracy? Review the evidence, investigator. Again? I mean, she's gonna say everything anyway. I believe that Witness initiated a conspiracy to kill the Council last night. Witness has become a fanatic. He has radicalized himself as a devoted servant of the gods. He believes the Syndicate has strayed far from the holy mission, and I believe he wanted to put the fear of the gods in us. Montserrat was devolving into paranoia, and was becoming a dictator. Witness has repeatedly voiced his opposition to Montserrat's plan for the next island. Witness took matters into his own hands. Carmelina told me about Witness becoming rebellious against Montserrat's plans. Witness openly rejected Montserrat's plans to wipe certain events from history and tighten his grip over Syndicate members. Witness has become obsessed with the idea of a cleansing tide of demons. Like the ancient Great Flood, he wants the Syndicate to be forced to start again. The key to Witness's plan was planting a killer demon inside the council penthouse. That demon would kill the council, and he'd get away with it. Witness made a call at midnight to a demonic containment crate that had been hidden in the penthouse, unlocking it remotely and allowing it to start its attack. Witness had been experimenting in demonology. Excuse me. He had been experimenting with demonology in a secret bunker within the Dead Zone. He imprisoned the killer demon and later weaponized it. Sam has a secret tunnel running from his bar to the Dead Zone. Witness used that to subvert the security on the Dead Zone and get in. Witness recruited Lydia and Sam into his conspiracy by promising to let them leave the Syndicate on the next island. 2 ex-assassins are perfect tools. Witness got the demon containment crate into the council building by using Lydia. She rappelled down from the roof of the penthouse and took it in through the maintenance grate. Lydia went through the second seal on Witness's behalf. Lydia and Sam worked together to get the demonic crate through the seals and into the penthouse a few days before the murder. The plan isn't foolproof. There were too many variables. Pinning your hopes on a wild killer demon and believing it wouldn't be traced back to you was foolish. No doubt the intention was a scare tactic more than anything else. Put the fear of the gods into the council to enact change. You used the killer demon as a messenger of angry gods to reshape the Syndicate. The plan didn't have to be perfect to get what you wanted. All you needed was a catalyst for change. On a day of horrible truths, this is one of the worst. Why, Witness? I'm surrounded by sin and heresy. You are all focused on the islands and your own little ambitions. What about the gods? What about our holy mission? All but one of the pyramids sit empty, and we have existed for millennia. We're an embarrassment to the gods. The Syndicate needed rebuilding. And you would be the one to do it? The who is irrelevant. More important is why and how. Re-establish the priority in our faith. Resume our holy mission. Bathe in the radiance of our gods. I must die a martyr. I tried. I really tried to do the work of our astral lords. I wasn't enough, though. The sin on this island was too great. I hope heaven is everything you want it to be. Witness to the end, you were found guilty of conspiring to kill the council. The punishment is death. The parlor of justice has played host to the truths of the investigator. Were the truths as expected? Did esoteric knowledge reveal the truth? Or did it remain hidden in mystery? The investigator will become executioner and will execute justice. Alright. The trials end. Grand Marshal Akiko 14. The verdict is... execute. Executed. Nice. Architect Carmelina. The verdict is... execute. Crimson Acid. The verdict is... release. Dr. Doom Jazz. The verdict is... release. The accused Henry Division. The verdict is... release. The fairy woman Lydia Daybreak. The verdict is... execute. Sam Daybreak. I feel like her execution was a little too harsh. But they knew what they were doing. They knew, maybe not about the killer demon, but they were going to overthrow the council. Yeah, execution makes sense. The verdict is... Witness to the end. The verdict is... Secretary Yuri Knight. The verdict is... Execute. The Unforgiving Spectre, One Last Kiss. The verdict is... Release. The Hidden Killer, him. The verdict is... Execute. The Bizarre Killer Demon. The verdict is... Release. Surprisingly. We have proven that Henry had nothing to do with the crime to end all crimes. He was nothing more than a pawn in a dreadful game of murder and secrecy. You have earned the title of Grand Investigator. Your weapon is unlocked. On the next island, you will reform the Paradise Psycho Unit. Island 24 is about to die. Island 25 waits for us. What kind of island will it be? Are you happy with your truths? Did you get the convictions you wanted? You entered into a battle with the facts, the truths and the suspects. Did you emerge victorious? This courtroom could only allow so many truths to emerge from their hiding places. Are there more to hunt? If you believe that things are not as they seem, there is still a way to punish the guilty. Grand Investigator Lady Love dies. I will leave you to execute justice at your discretion. Punish those that you deem guilty. Execution or exile are viable punishments. You may also let them go free. Please work for the best interests of Perfect 25. Thank you, Judge. It will be my honor to execute justice. When you are ready to wave goodbye to Island 24, do so from the rear view mirror of Lydia's car. The car will take you through the Paradise Gates and to Perfect 25. Use it at your discretion. Justice has been served. Choice and consequence. Those of you which have not been found guilty of destroying Paradise may leave and wrap up your business before we move to Perfect 25. A marshal shall take Henry back to his cell. Marshals will clear away the executed. They will not be remembered. They will not be honored. "25th Island sequence. She completed the job. Was there more to do? The investigator always trusted her heart. She would decide if Paradise had been saved. We are on Perfect 25, so it must have been saved. Saved isn't a binary state. Solving a crime doesn't mean the world is fixed. That's scary. It is. I hope she knew what she was doing. I'm sure she did. This is Lady Love Dies we're talking about. Can I talk to her? Paradise is indebted to you. No matter what truth you made, you believed in Paradise. I hope that we will never have to work together again. I hope that crime can be eradicated and Paradise can be perfect. That is an unrealistic dream. Crime infects every society. You were right. Syndicate's way of governing is flawed. It always will be. I look forward to working with you again. Truth will always need an investigator and a judge. When you have finished executing justice, please move to the next island. I don't feel like anyone else is guilty. Did they all just go back to their own respective places? Wait. No answer. I guess I'm gonna have to walk everywhere now that Lydia's been executed. Yeah, I was waiting to see what'll happen. I want to talk to Henry, though. What do you want, freak? By executing Akiko, you have destroyed any hope of Perfect 25. At least try to redeem yourself by executing the true murderer. The true justice has already been served. Justice? Akiko would only ever act to protect the council. I don't know how you trick Judge, but you'll never trick me. Now execute Henry before this island shuts down. He doesn't deserve to see its magnificent end. That was quite a fucking show. I'm amazed I'm still here. You were scapegoated. I was just doing my job. I appreciate it. It's the first time someone has stood up for me. Spent my entire life adrift. The world happened around me. I moved between currents. Nothing I did was ever good enough. Nothing ever worked. No one wanted me. You believed in the truth. Thank you. You can't leave this island. I'm just a shit-munching citizen. There are a load more for you to abduct for the next island, right? We've got a demon in me. Can't have that on your precious new island, can you? Goodbye, Henry. What fucking ever. I mean, I'm kind of tempted to execute him just to save him from, you know, put him out of his misery. But yeah, no. Okay, I don't really want to talk to everyone. I'm just going to talk to Crimson just because she's on the way to the car. But I'm not going to walk around the whole island again. Ladies back in town. You got your gun back. Justice has been served, and the PPU will be reborn on Perfect 25. Got a favor to ask. I'm not surprised. We need people for the Paradise Psycho unit, right? You want to be on the team? I'm the glamour of the battlefield, and I have a good stock of secrets. Okay, sure. You're hired. I want a corner office. Fine by me. Did you need something before the end of the island, boss? Execute. Farewell. I'll see you on the next island, Crimson. Sure thing, lady. Alright. My car now. With Lydia gone, I guess I need to drive out of here. Is it time to go? Time to get out of here. Closing island sequence 24 applications. Ready for island sequence 25. Woof! Oh, you're coming too, are you? Woof woof. Okay then, in the car. Perfect 25 awaits. A new island, a new council. The syndicate has been changed forever. Facts and truth. Truth and facts. Paradise needed saving. Was it worth it? Was it saved? I breathed life back into paradise. Time for Perfect 25. I'm gonna miss Love Dice. We could have had something special. Nothing brings people together like the impending obliteration of a pocket of reality. Still, at least the case of the Paradise Killer got her out of exile. I wonder if her truths were right. I guess I'll never know. I hope Perfect 25 was worth it. Obviously, I hope they all die in a fire, but for their sakes, I hope they enjoy it. I've only known humans for a short amount of time, but they all seem to be idiots that only work for themselves. I'm sure they'll fuck it up nicely. Anyway, time to watch reality die. And that's the end. So, yeah, a lot of players, obviously. A lot of culprits. I'm sure I probably maybe fucked up one or two things, but I'm pretty happy with my decision of who I picked. That's pretty much how it made sense in my head. Oh, there's actual lyrics to this song. It's hard to think with music in my ears. Yeah, this is basically the truth that made sense in my head. Is it canon? I have no idea. I don't know if there is a real canon ending, per se, but it makes sense, like how it played out. I might have put, like, who actually killed the council. I mean, I would have put both the guy which name I can't pronounce and the killer demon. I would have put them both. But, I mean, he was the main killer. Because there's blood on his knife, right? There's blood on the claws too, but he had, intention. Like, a demon's a demon, right? This is a person with, like, actual motive. So, I feel like he's the more guilty one. Carmelina, I honestly, first time I met Carmelina, I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, she's fucking guilty. Like, she just seems like... the architect of anything, to me, is like... has like the biggest motive, especially with a father who was exiled from the council. I'm like, these people hold grudges, pretty obviously, right? And too many plot holes in her story. Not plot holes, but like gaps. Like she was missing for like a year, like 25 years ago, and nothing ever came of it. She was married to this person, but like nothing ever came of it. Like she was very mum about that as well. I think she was married to Witness. I don't remember, but again, she was very sus to me from the beginning. Witness too, actually, now that I think about it. Thank you for playing. It was, yeah, it's a fun game. I will admit there were times where it felt kind of tedious. Just kind of going around picking up shit, especially where I had to go around picking up stuff. That was tedious. Like, I like exploration games, but getting around was a little bit of a pain. The fact that you could double jump and like sprint to a certain direction was great, but I don't know. I felt like to a certain point, it would have been better if you could like start, I don't know, flying or floating or something. It would have been easier to traverse. Let's get out of the screen. Oh. Ha ha ha. So that's how it ended. A weird turn of events. Strangest paradise yet. Is this paradise safe? Of course it isn't. This is the syndicate we're talking about. Will we need her again? We always will. She's the only one that can save paradise. Teasing a sequel. Their love cannot be defeated. Yeah, if anything, I felt a little bad. Music's changed. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I'm just going to shut off the music. Yeah, again, just final thoughts. It felt tedious at times, but I ultimately did like the story. It was a nice little mystery. As I kind of predicted, it was a bit of an Orient Express thing where, you know, there are multiple murderers. They were all kind of in on it. Although, in my mind, I was kind of thinking that Dr. Doom Jazz was also in on it, but he wasn't for what I could tell. He was purely innocent. Same with, I mean, One Last Kiss, obviously. She's a fucking victim. And Henry, obviously, like, from the beginning, like, everyone's pointing fingers at him, which means he's not the killer. In any murder mystery, I mean, 99% of the time, the obvious person is not the killer. Or not the main killer, at least, right? Yeah, even Crimson, I don't know where she got all these secrets from. Like, she's just like, I got my sources and shit. Fine. But usually the person that holds all the secrets is also usually pretty guilty. So I'm surprised she actually came out unscathed. But I wouldn't have tied her to anything. Just because she knew everything doesn't mean she was necessarily part of it, right? But again, you would think so. I don't know. Regardless, investigation's done. I stand by my decisions. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. If you would have picked someone else, or if you have played the game previously, like, who did you pick? I'd be interested to see how it plays out with different people. Like, is it still kind of like when it says suspect confirmed? Like, is it saying like you're right, or is it like you have confirmed like who you suspect, kind of thing, you know? And I'd be interested to see like what if you get everything wrong? What if you go without even investigating, just go right to the trials? Like, does everyone just get off scot-free and you're like put back into idle lands? You're put back into exile? I'd be interested to see to hear what happens there. But that'll be it for Paradise Killer. Yeah, I would still recommend it. Like, it's not a game you would play more than once, obviously, in terms of the main story, unless you want to pick different people. But it's not a game I would necessarily play twice. It's a one and done for me. I don't think I would ever come back to this. But having said that, I really appreciate all you guys watching and probably pulling your hairs over the stupid shit I've done. But thank you all so much for watching. I really appreciate all of you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.